Hello, people. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's been a minute. It definitely has been a minute since Tuesday. Have not been live. Obviously, Arsenal played on Wednesday evening. Wasn't live. I'm not going live then. And of course, yesterday, well, let's just put it that way. My lack of sleep throughout the last week or so finally caught up with me. I'm not gonna lie because I'm not gonna lie. In about the last 4 or 5 days, I had slept maybe 6, 7 hours overall throughout the night. The rest of that I was running on fumes. So I came home yesterday, 6 p.m., lie down, and woke up today at 6 a.m. So yeah, that's why I didn't go live yesterday. I'm very sorry about that. But today we will do a double stream. We're gonna do a double stream basically right now and in the evening. So to catch up. Let's put it that way, just to catch up. Obviously, in the meantime, while I wasn't streaming, Arsenal beat Brentford. That's about it. The less we're going to say about that game, the better. Declan Rice apparently was injured, but he says he's fine. So we're going to see, of course, on Saturday, tomorrow, 12:30 a.m., early kickoff, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. We are doing the preview right here, right now. And, of course, Mosquera is injured. So our defense is not looking great. Our defense is definitely not looking great. It's a big worry. It's a big issue right now, depending on Saliba's conditioning, because we might be going into a game with makeshift defense with no defensive backups. And now we are in this territory, what I have been saying for the longest time, which people dismissed me as a lunatic and as an idiot, as they said themselves, that the backups are good to a certain extent, but we don't have backups to the backups, and when they have to play, we will see a drop-off. And unfortunately, we are kind of nearing and edging towards that territory, which is definitely not great, which is a very, very worrying situation. Luckily for us, this part of the season, till the end of the year at least, we feel very easy. Let's just put it that way. Comparatively to other teams, we have it easy. We have games pretty much we should be winning every single one. The Villa home and away games that are going to happen tomorrow and the end of the year, yes, it is a bit of a different story. But overall, rest of them, teams like Everton, Wolves, and teams like that, we should be beating without shadow of a doubt. So hopefully we can manage to somehow push ourselves through this instance, these situations, this problem with injuries until some players come back and we are again in more sustainable instance and in more sustainable situation moving forward. But yeah, today, let's take a little step back. Let's travel back into the past to talk about Brentford. Of course, we're going to talk about Aston Villa because we must talk about Aston Villa game because it's tomorrow, early kickoff. Arsenal don't do well in early kickoffs, and it's definitely going to be a very, very, very interesting one to discuss, to talk about. And it's going to be very interesting to see how everything goes, unfolds, and follows. So yeah, people, like the stream. If you haven't already, subscribe if you're new and leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Haven't talked in a minute, so definitely would be interested to see how everything is going with you. Yeah, and drop a like and everything if you got a minute, of course. But yeah, people, that this Brentford game definitely was not great. It wasn't fantastic, but hey, at least we got the job done. Big up, Vigilante. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Go subscribe to Vigilante Gaming as well. Does gaming, does sports, does everything. Show him some love. Also an Arsenal fan, so definitely an advantage in that regard. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, hope you're doing well today, my guy. Yeah, people, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, speaking of Brentford, let's start off with the Brentford game because that definitely wasn't a pre-watch. Let's just put it that way. It was a painful watch. It was, people do watch-alongs, hate-alongs. This, for Arsenal fans, it's watch-along / pain-along, basically, because it is painful sometimes to watch Arsenal play. And it wasn't the greatest, I'm not going to lie. We got the job done. We didn't rotate a lot, but we did rotate. We had some options we utilized, which was great to see. Eze didn't start, Saka didn't start, which on one hand was very confusing. On the other hand, I'm super happy that they didn't start. Give them rest. The issue with me, the biggest one, is Declan Rice, because he plays, he starts and everything. And yeah, now that is the biggest worry right now. Declan Rice himself claims that he is fine. We're going to see about that because there were some interesting images that got sent to me with Declan Rice's leg and the right ankle being taped down. before everything, so that already was not great. And now he basically got forcefully subbed off. Gyökeres came on for him, and whether it was his calf, whether it was a cramp, I have no idea. Declan says he's okay, so it might have been just cramp, but you know how this goes. Oh, it's just a cramp. We saw that it was just a cramp for Timber, and then he was out for months. It was just a cramp for Gabriel, and then he was out for months. And yeah, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself being happy, jumping around and everything that Declan Rice is fine and everything he's gonna play, because in general it's good news, right? But overall, if we look long term, already by 50th minute he looked winded against Brentford, and he barely was standing, what it felt like already, hands on hips and all this stuff, which was definitely not a good sight. And then he goes down and gets subbed off, and talks start to go around. Let's just put it that way. Rumors start to fly around, talk starts to fly around, and definitely it was not a great thing. It definitely was not a great thing. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he doesn't get overplayed, but now the questions are about the depth, because one of the things I was talking about quite a bit over the last year or so was the Declan Rice backups, because we don't have a Declan Rice backup. If you want to say it pound per pound, we don't have one. Technically speaking, yes, we have Merino, we have, well, Eze, let's just say, for lack of a better word. Skelly can play there, which is the most viable option in my opinion, but how often do we see them there? Almost never. Let's be real. We almost never see them there. Declan Rice plays almost every single game, bell to bell. Merino plays more up top than he plays in the midfield. To be honest, Merino at striker is better than in the midfield, which is also very weird, but it's a bit different story. We're not going to talk about it right now. But Declan Rice has no backup. And this is one of the biggest issues here. If for, let's just say, center backs, we have actually some adequate backups for at least to fix the leakage, let's just put it that way, to a certain amount of time. For that Declan Rice spot, we don't have it. We just don't have it. And if Declan Rice goes out, we could derail real quick. And that, for me, is the biggest worry, because the injuries are piling up. We get 1-2 players back, again, 2-3 players go out. Arsenal injury curse or something like that. I don't know what it is, but we just cannot seem to stay fit. Obviously, it's combination of lots of things. Players being overplayed, overtrained, training regime, lack of rotation. Ultimately, the penny starts and drops to a certain extent with Mikel Arteta, but also with the players and how they manage themselves. So I don't know what to say, because at the moment we have 5-6 players injured, which is not great already, because that's how we started the year and that's how year is going. There were hopes that with Gabriel is going to be soon back. Technically speaking, Havertz, Jesus, Gyökeres, they're going to come back step by step, and by mid-December or so, we should have a full team. That was the hope. But right now, Gabriel is out, Mosquera is out, Trossard is out, Declan Rice under question marks at the moment. Saliba is out, Mosquera is out, and again we are in this spot where, well, we're lacking players. I just put it that way. And if in the beginning of the season, for me, the most secure position, let's just put it that way, for Arsenal was defense, just because of the share due to backups and the players where they can play. I felt secure. Right now, it's looking like panic settings. Like, it's like the wheels are falling off, because 3-4 defenders injured, that's it. That's it. Like, we are on the brink of, if Saliba is not okay, we are on the brink of having to play Ben White or Timber as center backs. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see either of them as center backs, because Timber, the best position for me, at Arsenal at least, is at right back. Yes, he plays center back for Netherlands, but for me, right back is the best position. We all know that Ben White at center back is, well, kind of useless to some extent. At the two center back formation, Ben White is not it. However, if we played as a 3 at the back with 3 center backs, Ben White actually would be somewhat decent. Ben White had a very good game as a right back against Brentford, which I'm definitely credit where credit is due, for not playing a lot, for being out of the loop for some time, with being basically tortured by injuries to a certain degree and lack of play time. He actually had a very good game. Fair plays, fair dues to him. So it is a worry. Now Mosquera went out, so we have Hink. So for defense, technically speaking, we have White, Simba, 2 right backs, Hincapié, center back, and Calafiori, Skelly, 2 left backs, technically speaking. But if we look at the overall picture, Skelly is a midfielder, so we have technically 4 defenders, right? But we have 4 defenders, and all 4 are center backs by letter of the law, technically speaking. Hincapié is a center back, Calafiori is a center back, Timber technically is a center back, and Ben White came in as a center back. We have center backs as full backs, which tends to work for Arsenal, which is great. I'm not complaining about that one single bit to a degree. I have to put a disclaimer there because that left side still bothers me to a big extent, right? But at the same time, our defense is now very vulnerable. And against the team that we're going to face tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., early kickoff, and we don't do well in early kickoffs, which is Aston Villa away at Villa Park, big up Andrew. Villa is going to be a tricky game because Villa are ramping up. Villa are revving up the gears. They are in a different gear right now. They had a very slow start of the season. People were talking about Emery maybe getting sacked even to a certain degree. But for me, I always maintain this thought process that Villa tends to have these things. Many teams under Emery also at times tend to have these things, that they have a very slow start of the season. They couldn't even buy a goal to a certain degree or a win. And after that October international break, they have kicked on and onwards. They came back from being 2-0 down during the week. And right now they are in what they are fourth. I think they're in 4th place, if I'm not mistaken, or 3rd. Yes, they are 3rd in the table. 27 points, only 6 points behind us. Looking at the start that Aston Villa had, you wouldn't envision this. You wouldn't expect this at this stage. But they have kicked it up. They have kicked into gear. And especially at Villa Park, it's going to be a rough one. Unai Emery as well, he knows how to get one over Arsenal for, at worst case scenario, throw a very tricky game at us. He has damaged us in the most important times when we only had to play him, especially the 2-0 at home, when Arteta infamously decided to play Havertz in midfield, when we finished 2 points behind City that season. Last year as well, yes, we technically won. Yes, we won at Villa Park. However, let's not forget that Watkins missed empty net. Watkins missed double chance. Raya made an incredible save on the second shot. Definitely, it's gonna be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, to say the least. It's gonna be nuts. Big up, Kev. Big up. Just checked EPL injuries. You are showing 6. There are 8 other teams with same or more injuries. Yeah, exactly. And the nuts part is, for us, that's those 6 injuries. If you go by laws of averages, it has been since the beginning of the season to a certain degree. Like 5-6 injuries has been Arsenal's average. That is the worst part. And it is a bit worrying. I'm not gonna lie. It is a bit worrying. At the same time, we have the best squad in the league, the best depth in the league. Well, I don't think so, but many Arsenal fans do. So we should not be worried. The issue is that the big part of those injuries are defenders. It's not like it's only attackers or it's not spread out evenly. Let's just put it that way. It's very, very lopsided. Arsenal have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Havertz is out. He's ruled out. Gabriel is out. He's also ruled out for tomorrow's game. I'm looking at this. Let's share this because it will be interesting to see against this. Let me just put it that way. The question is how much I need to zoom in. Oh, I need to zoom in quite a bit. Here we go. Kai Havertz, he is out. That goes without saying. Kai Havertz is out with knee injury. December 2nd, it was said it's just a matter of weeks. That's what Arteta said, so I'm not sure what to expect that. Potential return is 30th of December. So basically, in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks even, Havertz is expected to be back. Same goes for Gabriel Magalhaes. He's doing well, but again, Arteta said it's a matter of weeks, so we have to wait and see. Trossard, matter of days, he's being assessed, right? As you can see, potential return tomorrow, but it's only 20% chance. So basically, that means he might as well be out. You cannot include this. Same goes for Saliba. Same goes for Declan Rice. This is the nuts part. Like, Declan Rice says he is okay. He is fine. He's going to be okay. He's ready to play tomorrow. That's what Declan Rice says. However, 25% chance that he's going to play. That doesn't fill me with confidence because there's 75% chance he might not. And obviously, Christian Mosquera, he's also injured. We'll see how that's going to go. Two Declan Rice and Mosquera injuries are the most worrying ones because we don't know the extent of it. As much as they want to say that they will be okay, they will play, it's going to be fine, the extent, the scans have not been in yet. Nothing has been officially announced. And to a certain degree, even if they get the scans and they know the outcome, knowing Arteta, he might not even say the truth there. He might actually play it long shot and just say some vague answers as he usually does. And just keep the cards close to his chest. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see. We'll see. Mikel Arteta's press conference hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen very, very soon. So we'll see how that's going to go as well. But yeah, at the moment, it's a very big worry for me personally. It's a bit of a worry, to say the least, that the injuries are again piling up. If it looked at, as I said in one point, that we're going to be okay, at the moment, it's not looking that it's going to be okay. It's looking a bit worrying. Let's just put it that way. However, Villa away, I think it's the toughest game we have left till the end of the year, pretty much. That is the toughest game we have left till the end of the year. If we look at Arsenal's schedule, right? Arsenal's schedule right now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to say it's a hard one. It's very easy. It's not easy as well. It's very like average one, which should not bar Arsenal too much. Let's just put it that way. Because we have Villa tomorrow, 12:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. kickoff, right? We don't do well in early kickoffs. We struggle against Villa no matter how you look at it, so I expect a very, very tough game. Club Brugge away, that they're going to be a very rough team. They play very well at home. We saw what they did against Barcelona as well at home, so definitely I expect a very tough and very, very physical game. Same I expect, to be honest, against Aston Villa. The Aston Villa game is also going to be very tough and very physical. Let's just put it that way. And Emery knows how to get one over us. So we'll see how that's going to go. Wolves at home should be a win. Let's be real. Next week should be a win. Everton away should be a win. Then again, Everton are doing some very good job. They're playing very good football as well. So we cannot discredit them. Crystal Palace at home in the quarterfinals of EFL Cup. That's going to be an interesting one with the injuries and everything. Brighton at home. Yeah, we struggle against Brighton no matter how you look at it. Yes, in the Cup we beat them, but in general, we tend to struggle against them. And of course, Aston Villa at home. So basically speaking, we should be winning pretty much every single game till the end of the calendar year at the moment. We are in this position where we should, but will we? That's a completely different story. We have a very nice and very handy schedule, which helps us. Let's just put it that way, where injury should not play as big of an influential role as if we had to play still, let's just say City or Liverpool or teams like that. So at the end of the day, it's actually quite nice. It actually is quite nice, and we have been very lucky in that regard. Obviously, once 2026 starts, we have again some heavy games coming up, but that we're gonna get into that the closer it gets. Big up, Terry Tibbs. Big up. I'm doing good. Didn't stream yesterday because, well, couldn't. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going live right now, and then I'm going to go live this evening with hopes that Mikel Arteta press conference is going to happen during the day. And so I'm going to go, I can go over it tomorrow. The press conference is in like 2 hours. So yeah, in the evening stream, we definitely gonna do it. We're definitely gonna do it then. But yeah, Aston Villa, it's gonna be an interesting one. Aston Villa, as already mentioned on Aston Villa, they play some very physical and very good football. They know how to make a proper comeback. They have the proper mentality. The players are starting to kick into gear, especially based on the beginning of the season, where they definitely didn't look great. They didn't look great. As I said, there were talks about Emery getting the sack. It's not going well. They had a few injuries. They still have a few, I'm not going to lie. But I also maintain the policy and maintain this thought process that at certain stage, they're going to click into gear. Because with Emery, it happens like that. That's how Emery teams tend to start the season. Very slow, very pragmatic, not doing much, not doing a lot, and then all of a sudden they kick into gear. They drop points in early stages. They barely could get certain wins. At the same time, right now, if you look at them, they're third in the table and only 6 points behind us. Only 6 points behind us, which is actually not that much. Let's be real, because if we drop points, they are 1 win away from us, which again is a massive, 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 massive worry. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, Premier League table is also looking always shapes and forms dangerous for Arsenal, because one slip up can derail everything. And we all know that Arsenal don't do well under the pressure. They tend to crumble under the pressure. And if we look right now, Arsenal are 5 points ahead of City, right? We play Villa. Who are City playing? I'm just going to quickly check Premier League schedule. Premier League schedule. Man City tomorrow after Arsenal game, right? After Arsenal game, Man City plays Sunderland at home. You would expect Man City to win. Then again, Sunderland is one of those teams that nobody can actually do much against them, because if you look in the table, Sunderland are 6th in the league. 6th in the league. 10 points behind Arsenal, by the way. And then 5 points behind City. Only 5 points behind City. How mad is that? But yeah, Sunderland are going to travel to Etihad. We'll see how that's going to go. 100% it's going to be a very interesting type of game where if City are not careful, they might get done over. Let's just put it that way, man. City could get done over. But yeah, Arsenal, now Villa play Arsenal, City play Sunderland. Who else is close to us? Crystal Palace, right? Chelsea. Let's look who Chelsea. Chelsea play Bournemouth away. After that awful result against Leeds they had. Big up to Leeds as well, by the way. Chelsea will need a bounce back, and yeah, it's not looking great. It definitely is not looking great in terms of games, because one slip up from Arsenal basically can derail everything. One slip up derails pretty much everything. And that for me at the moment is the biggest worry, because Arsenal tend to struggle against pressure situations. Being at the moment first is great. But we had to win against Chelsea, because if we won that game against Chelsea, right, we would be 7 points clear of City. We would be 11 points clear of Chelsea, and there would be no issues. But right now, we are in a spot where if we don't get a result against Villa, and I mean a win, not even a draw, I mean a win. If we don't get 3 points against Aston Villa at the Villa Park, right, and City win, Villa also win, they will be 3 points behind us. City is going to be 2 points behind us. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. This pressure cooker has kicked off. And people are going to say, oh, but Arsenal have injuries, oh, this, oh, that, and everything. Then it's interesting how these things change. How quickly this change, because Arsenal have the best squad in the league. Arsenal have the best depth in the league. They are ready for any instance. Every situation that the season can throw against them, whether it's a red card, multiple injuries, or whatever. That was the song before the season kicked off, when the season had just kicked off. Right now, we have injuries, 6. We have 6 injuries. Well, technically 5, because Jesus is not available ever, so it's very hard to count him into this equation, let's just put it that way. And all of a sudden, Arsenal are cursed. Injury crisis. And everything, all the excuses are coming out if we don't win the games. But it should not be like that, should it? Because this changes really quickly. Stick to the guns, because you cannot say that you have the best squad and depth in the league, but as soon as you get a few injuries, and not all the players are starting players, by the way, you instantly just backpedal and say, oh, everything shit is hitting the fan and we're going to lose. It's crisis. It doesn't work like that. And even if it is crisis, you work through it and you win. Because I don't think Arsenal are going to get any more chances to win anything. I think this could be the last season for Arsenal to be up there. There is a big possibility of that. Because we're going to lose some players in summer. If we don't recruit properly, it could get even more Peakums, let's just put it that way. And and on top of all that, there could be some big issues if something goes sour with certain players, because players that usually were the most durable ones, who almost never got injured or didn't get injured at all, let's be real, are starting to get injured. That is another big worry right now. And yes, Declan Rice went off. Might be a tiny injury, might be a knock, might be all okay. Then again, it's the first indication of a long-term injury. Because Gabriel also, before he got injured, started to get few cramps. Then people said, "Oh, he's just overplayed." Haha, that's on Mikel Arteta, by the way. But he's just overplayed. It's just a few cramps. Few weeks later, bang, he's out for half a year. Same happened with Jurrien Timber. Yes, he got an ACL and everything. He comes back, he started to get a few cramps, bang, he's out for another extended period of time. Saka as well. Oh, it's just a cramp. Oh, it's nothing. And then bang, Saka gets an ACL. And it happens like that. Same happened with Kai Havertz. Before he got injured, he was nursing and he was already getting a treatment after the previous game. He goes back out to the bang. Light weather, easy training, where apparently it was actually physical tough training, and he gets an ACL. It's just the first indication of long-term issues. 100%. Big up, Tyrell. Big up, Tyrell. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you are doing well today, my guy. Hope everything's fine with you. If you haven't already, people, drop a like, subscribe to Tyrell. Does everything regarding Arsenal, so go show him some love. Must-win game tomorrow. Yes, must-win without shadow of a doubt. Injuries might be a worry, but tomorrow it's a must-win game. No excuses, because if we lose, it's going to be very long. It's going to be very, very problematic for Arsenal. City is going to be only 2 points behind us then, because if City beats Sunderland after our game, it's going to be that. By the way, if we lose to Villa, Villa is also only going to be 3 points behind us. At the moment, they are 6 points behind us. We are not that far off from another derail, massive. And the wheels are, again, very, very loose at the moment. If it were somewhat tight, with Gabriel going out, Saliba going out, now Mosquera out, our defense being in trouble in terms of depth, if rotation and everything, Declan Rice showing signs of getting injured, the wheels are coming hella loose, and we are on the brink of them falling off quite big time. So we need to be careful with this. We need to be very, very, very careful how we approach things and how we go about these things. So time only will tell, of course, but at the moment, oh my bloody hell, it's not looking great. It definitely is not looking great. But yeah, we'll see. My prediction is a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think we get through it and win. I want to say 2-1 Arsenal win as well. Obviously, I think more of a precise prediction we will be able to come up to after Mikel Arteta's press conference today, and when the starting 11 comes out tomorrow before the game. That being said, I'm going to stream this evening as well. I'm going to be live this evening as well. We're going to do Arteta press conference reaction. We're going to talk about injury issues and all this stuff. But yeah, I think we're going to do a prediction then as well, based on what Mikel Arteta will say in the interviews. Because yes, he doesn't say the truth all the time. Let's be real. At the same time, we need some more information regarding all of this, because I haven't heard anything about the extent of Mosquera's injury. Yes, Declan Rice has come out and said that he's fine. He's going to play on Saturday. Then again, means nothing. For me, it means nothing until I see him in that starting 11. Then again as well, we all know that this manager is not protecting his players. They're playing injured. Declan Rice had his right leg bandaged up under the socks. Why? Who knows why? But yeah, he definitely is. Also is not in the best of forms. So definitely there are lots of worries, lots of variables. And again, the biggest worry about this interview Arteta is going to conduct today is that once again, it's going to raise more questions than actually give answers. And that with Mikel Arteta is one of the biggest issues for me. The more questions you ask, you get some answers, right? But due to those answers, you get more questions. That is the thing. He never answers a question in a way that you don't have any follow-up questions. And that is a big, big worry and a big, big problem. And yeah, time only will tell, obviously. Big up, Tyrell, once again. Big up, bro. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Good morning to you, by the way. It's very early for you as well. So hope all is fine with you. Hope all is fine with you, my guy. But yeah, what we're going to do now, we're going to dive into, well, for lack of a better word, We're gonna do the starting 11 predictions. And this is the one where at the moment it's gonna be a very, very questionable one. Due to the unknowingness, due to the fact that we are in dark regarding the injuries and how everyone's feeling. That for me is the biggest worry right now. For me, that is the biggest worry. Let's check this. So yeah. I'm checking something. Declan Rice, Mosquera, Saliba. Lots of players are questionable for the Villa game. 25-30%, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Arsenal don't have suspensions, which is good. Which is very, very good that we don't have suspensions yet. Then again, if I'm not mistaken, we have a few players who are 1 yellow away from a 4-game suspension. They are almost on 5 yellows. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, starting 11. I think Raya goes in there no matter what, obviously. I would say Calafiori, Hincapié, Zubimendi, well, has to be honest. Eze, it must be Eze. It must be, not Trezeguet maybe, but it must be Eze. Obviously, Saka goes in there on the right. Wait, I think I zoomed out a bit too much. Yeah. Now, Gyökeres is going to go at striker because, again, it's a must. And now I'm kind of stumped. And now this is the position where I'm kind of confused a tiny bit. I'm not going to lie, because I have no idea what is going on regarding the injuries and where we're going to go with this. Because if Mosquera and Saliba both are out, the center back's going to be Timber and White, and who knows how they're going to be put into the team. If Rice is in, Rice is playing. If Rice is okay, right? If Rice is out, I expect Merino. Then again, Merino played quite almost full 90 pretty much, so Gyökeres is going to start at striker. That goes without saying. With Declan Rice, the question marks are there. That for me is the big thing. But since Rice technically says that he is fine, Rice has said himself that he is fine, so I'm not gonna get too far away from it. That he's ready to play this weekend, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say that Declan Rice is going to play, and we're gonna be all fine. Now the question marks are for the rest of the 3 positions. Who are we playing left wing? Because we don't have much. We can play Madueke there, although Madueke is 10 times better on the right than he is on the left. So maybe Martinelli. It has to be Martinelli, kind of. You would expect that, wouldn't you? You would expect this, and since Timber has more experience at center back, I'm going to put Timber, and I'm going to put in White in there. But keep in mind, people, that this is basically going off the thought process that Saliba is out, Mosquera is out, and Trossard is out. Pretty much every single main player is out. Because Rice says that he's going to play, so I'm putting him into the team. Left wing, I would be tempted, I'm not going to lie, I would be tempted to play Vanieri there, or put Saka left wing and play Madueke on the right. Because I think that actually could be very, very useful and very, very good for Arsenal. Saka on the left and Madueke on the right. We all know that Arteta is not going to do it because he's not going to experiment like that. At the same time, it's going to be very interesting. For me, the worry is that in the last few years when Martinelli has played left wing for Arsenal against Villa, he's been clamped up. He has done absolutely nothing. He's been clamped up by Manny Cash. He's been clamped up by an 18-year-old the defender that I forgot last year. He got clamped up by Serbian center back who played right back, and he was like 17, 18 years old. That for me is the other big drawback into this, which would lead me to play a more technical player there, which means Madueke most likely is going to play there. In ideal scenario, Saka would be left, Madueke right, but I would not be against also this. Even though Madueke on the left stinks to a very big degree. For me personally, Madueke should be on the right, personally speaking. But yeah, I think that could be the starting 11. If all the injuries, no injured players come back, and they are not ready to start. Because for me as well against Brentford, the thing was, even if Saliba is ready, but he's not 100% ready, he should not be playing. If he's 90% ready, he still should not be playing, so he's fully fit for Aston Villa game. This Villa game carries very big weight, and it's going to be tougher than people expect even to some degree. So I don't know. This would be my 11 if push comes to shove, given the current circumstances. Mind you, I wouldn't be surprised if Odegaard plays in the 10 and Eze goes left wing. I would not be surprised even about that if Mikel Arteta pulls something like that off. Would not be surprised a single bit. So time only will tell and we will see. But yeah. We are in this very tricky spot at the moment. People want to say it's a curse, but is it really a curse? It's just people say it's unlucky, it's a curse, it's a combination of things. And at the end of the day, you make your own luck. And I think it's been, as much as I hate to say it, it's been long overdue that our players are going to get injured. Just due to the share of lack rotation and lack of over physical, over intensive training, what we do regular basis under Mikel Arteta. Maybe Heinz as well is contributing to that a tiny bit. Who knows? Genuinely, who knows? But these injuries that they are ramping up, we will never be fully fit as well. Throughout this course of the season, we won't be fully fit at all. We won't have a game anymore where everyone is going to be back. We will have players injured to some degree, and that is another worry. But yeah, we are in this spot. By the way, we beat Brentford, right? It wasn't a great game. It was a very shocking game. Let's just put it that way to watch. But at the end of the day, we got the job done. 3 points on the board. It was a snooze fest. It was a bore fest. It was painful, but at the same time, we got the job done. We are in a good spot, and we are good to move on. On to Villa, and then on to Club Brugge. Let's check this quickly. Arsenal schedule, right? Let's look at Arsenal's schedule, because that for me is the big thing right now. Big thing for me, Arsenal's schedule is right now, because I want to talk about this. Looking at Arsenal's schedule, there is not a single game that Arsenal should not be winning. There isn't a single game till the end of this calendar year that Arsenal should not be winning. Because we should be beating Villa, we should be beating Club Brugge, we should be beating Wolves, Everton, Palace, Brighton, Villa. Till the end of this calendar year, till December 30th, we should be winning every single of these games, which effectively means that we need to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Premier League games. 15 points out of 15 we should be getting. Not to mention the fact that we should be going into semifinals of the Carabao Cup. That should be the case. Because let's just look at the schedules for our opponents, right? Let's look at Man City's schedule, right? Manchester City's schedule. They have this game against Fulham, by the way. That was a nuts one. They have Sunderland at home when pretty much straight after Arsenal play Villa away. It will gonna be interesting. They have Real Madrid, but they have Crystal Palace, quarterfinals against Brentford. They have West Ham. They have Forest. They have Sunderland. Well, Sunderland doesn't count. Let's just put it that way. January 1st, that's a shame. They have to play on January 1st. What unfortunate turn of events, to be honest. But yeah, Forest. They have actually quite easy schedule as well. I think we have easier one, though. Yeah, we have an easier schedule than them. we have an easier schedule than them, to be honest. And if let's just look at Aston Villa and Chelsea and all these teams, because let's look at the teams that are the closest for us to follow. Okay, Chelsea are cooked because Chelsea have Bournemouth away, Everton at home, Cardiff, okay, Newcastle away, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth. Chelsea have one of the roughest ones. For lack of let's look at Liverpool. Even though Liverpool are very shaky, they're struggling like crazy. Let's see who Liverpool have to play. Well, Leeds at Elland Road. It's going to be interesting how Leeds respond after beating Chelsea 3-1, and Liverpool actually, in away games, play a tiny bit better than at home, because when they play at home, they crumble and concede so many goals. It's actually quite poor and quite embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. They have Inter away, Brighton, Spurs, Villa, and Leeds again, technically. Yeah, they have a very tough schedule as well. I'm telling you, Arsenal have the easiest schedule of all the top 4 teams at the moment. Because Villa as well, they have us, obviously. They have West Ham, they have United, they have Chelsea, and us again. If we look at it like that, Arsenal have the easiest schedule of all the teams in the top 4 at the moment. And there are no excuses for Arsenal not to beat all these teams we have to play. Like, let's be real. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Tomorrow, early kickoff. Arteta's interview is this evening. Well, in an hour, to be honest. An hour and a half, in an hour, if I'm not mistaken. So this evening, we're going to stream once again. We're going to do Arteta's press conference. We're going to talk about more. If I manage, I will get some people on. If you're going to watch Views streams as well, Views on Sport, go check it out. I might be on that channel today during the day as well. But yeah, overall, it's going to be interesting. Big up everyone for being here. Big up everyone for showing up. It's going to be a bit short than the usual stream. In the evening, it's going to be a longer stream. Let's be real. But for today, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. We are inching towards 1K. But yeah, for now, I'm going to be signing off. I'm going to go relax. Going to do some chores around the house. And I'm going to see you this evening. Peace.